Hey guys, what is going on? And welcome back to Fortnitemares 2025, where we now have Nitemare Island in Fortnite Reload. So we're going to take a look at this. It's basically a brand new map that is replacing Squid Grounds, supposedly. It is the only map for at least a while. We don't know how long that while is, potentially for the whole month of October. So all in all, jump in. If you're playing Reload, you'll be playing this anyway, but we also have some quests for it, so you might as well give it a try, and it's for Fortnitemares. It also has its own little trailer, so we'll give that a watch now. So folks, Reload Nitemare Island. I love how the trailer is more a showcase of all the Fortnitemares 2025 skins rather than actually showcasing Reload, but you got to see a few of the areas in the map. Now, what you can see is it's like an amalgamated Halloween-y mix of previous chapters, previous seasons. So we have Retail Row is back in the bottom middle of the map as Retail Ruin. We have Spooky Suburbs, which is supposed to be quite a big place. Risky Reels is Halloween-y with Revenge Reels. Estranged Estate, that's from Chapter 5. That is the, I can't even remember the name of the estate area, but like, it's up there. Terror Turrets is supposed to be like the Underworld was, so again from Chapter 5. Effectively, it's an amalgamation of maps in a Halloween-y vibe. We have some quests to complete though. Each one giving 15,000, and then if you complete 3, 6, and 9, you get a bonus of 25,000. So your quests are as follows: to land at 5 named locations, deal 1,000 damage to players with shotguns or SMGs, eliminate 10 players before rebooting. That one might be a little bit annoying, might take some time. Complete 12 reload daily quests, acquire 25 accolades, deal 250 damage to players in the air. So effectively you got to shoot people out of the sky, which is annoying because I always get mad at people for doing that to me. So wipe 35 enemy teams or reboot 35 times. That's a lot more than last time. I think the last quest was literally just reboot 15 times. Eliminate 25 players, build or destroy 65 structures, which is really easy, and survive 25 storm circles. However, those are not the only quests. We also have 2 ranked reload quests. For winning a reload ranked match, you will get the new wrap, the Elite Sigil wrap, and for eliminating 50 players in ranked reload matches, you will get the Spooky Stroll emote. It is worth noting, these quests do not currently have a timer on them. They will basically expire with the map itself, presumably on November 1st. So you likely only have until the end of Chapter 6 Season 4 to actually complete these quests. So jump in, get them done, experience the map, experience the loot pool, play a little bit of Reload. I know Reload has become a bit like Marmite at this point. Some people really enjoy playing Reload and some people are more a fan of either regular Battle Royale or Blitz. But yeah, jump in, check out Reload Nitemare Island, and without further ado, let's get into a match. So just the first quick mention, guys, we do have a bit of a Halloween-y spawn island. Like, there's not much else other than this big haunted mansion and some Halloween-y decorations, but it's just nice to see a spawn island that fits with the vibe. And then you can also look from here over towards Nitemare Island, which, honestly, the fact that they've added the Lighthouse in here, but even the Lighthouse seems to look spooky, is really cool to me. So, it might be quite a nice map to actually explore, I must say. So folks, first location we're going to check out is the new reskinned underworld known as Terror Turrets. You can see it's almost like a mixture of about 3 different locations. This is a very very amalgamated location because it has the underworld vibes, especially with the Styx River flowing around it, but it also has similar aspects to the Citadel from Chapter 4, and arguably Doom's Castle from Chapter 5. It has some aspects of that sort of design. So this is effectively a unique location that we've not really seen before. It has its own character to it. In fact, looking at it now, this little courtyard area is almost reminiscent of Olympus from Chapter 5 as well. So, like, kind of interesting to see the vibe that Epic have gone for here. I have a scythe. I have a scythe. I love the scythe. I'm gonna get killed with the scythe, aren't I? Damn it, I got killed with the scythe. Okay. Well, that's one location we've sort of covered. Next location. Estranged Estate. So this one, again, like I say, is more like the estate area from Chapter 5. It very, very much is reminiscent of... well, I say it's reminiscent, like this is literally the same building, just with Halloween aspects added to it. It's also nice to see the loot pool here, so like we have the sideways weapons, which obviously are very Halloween vibe. But then we also have some of like the underworld weapons. I'm not having a good time. I'm being bullied. Okay. So Estranged Estate, we'll come back down. We'll see if we can get any more. Oh, that is a nice touch. The statue out the front with the purple lighting makes it look very horror-esque. It almost gives a Weeping Angel kind of vibe. Those of you that watch Doctor Who, it's quite creepy in a way, actually. But no, it's like I was saying about the loot pool. It's quite nice to see that they've actually tried to make a Halloween-based loot pool. Obviously within reason, because I think people would kick off if it was too Halloween-based, but no, it's quite cool. I like this room with all the floating furniture. Like, they've definitely gone for haunting vibes. And then this room here with things on the walls, it's quite creepy. But anyway, let's skip forward and take a look at some of the next locations. So folks, third location is Gravey Gates, which, honestly, not entirely sure what this location is meant to be, other than sort of like a bit of a cemetery. It kind of gives the same vibe as Haunted Hills from Chapter 1. So that's sort of where I think this one's supposed to be reminiscent of. I'm going to get murdered again. I am not having a good time. I hate reload solos for this exact reason, because it is such a toxic game mode to play. But you guys let me know what you think of it down below in the comments. I think reload is more enjoyable when you're in a team. I think reload solos has become such a toxic game that I actually don't enjoy playing it anymore. But like I say, let me know what you guys think down below, because right now I am not enjoying this at all. Next location, folks, is the central location of the map, Haunted Hamlet. Now this one gives the same sort of vibe as Chapter 4's Anvil Square. It also has a little bit of a vibe of Chapter 5's Doomstadt. It's sort of an amalgamation of the two, mixed into this Halloween-y vibe. Again, locations in this map are very amalgamated, but still with their own twist, which is why I actually think this map is pretty good. Overall, so far, 4 out of 10 locations discovered. I've liked all 4 of the locations, which is nice. Because there is a problem sometimes with people not enjoying a map and then they don't want to play it as much. So like, it is nice to have a map that is genuinely nice and fun to play on. And I guess the loophole helps. Having chainsaws is always fun. So folks, just south of Haunted Hamlet, you have quite a large lake area. And then just to the west side of the lake, you have this big haunted manor house, which is Leech Lake. So coming over here will tick that off. For some reason, you actually seem to have to come to the building for it to tick it off, rather than just being able to say, go to the lake, and it be Leech Lake, which to me is slightly weird, because why would a lake location not be the lake and instead be the house? But you know what, Epic? You do you. We're then going to head down southwest slightly, where we have what looks to be like a sort of farmyardy kind of area. Very much reminiscent of like Anarchy Acres, Fatal Fields vibes, but with a bit of a pumpkin-y twist on it. If anything, I guess the location it's probably closest to is probably actually Freaky Fields from Chapter 5 and Chapter 6. But yeah, this is Punishment Patch. So folks, our next location is this sort of eastern area, Creepy Cabins, which I am curious about this location because obviously we've had a sort of cabin-y vibe added to Chapter 6 this year for Fortnitemares. However, this one seems to be actually like really unique. This seems like quite a new styled area, which is nice. Obviously, I think some of the modelling comes from the new Chapter 6 area, and also the camp area from Chapter 3. So those of you that played back in Chapter 3, which, believe it or not, is nearly 4 years ago now, you will probably remember the camp that I'm on about. We then also have another statue over here in the middle of the lake that is illuminated by purple light. They seem to be using the purple light quite a lot in this map. Could that be a reference to the cube? Probably not, but like, you never know with Epic anymore. So it could be. It always could be. They like to keep us in the dark a little bit nowadays, but who knows? Hopefully we find out more. But yeah, Creepy Cabins, nice little camp yard area, quite cool. I'm curious as to whether or not there is a like full-on campfire or anything. I didn't see one yet, but I assume there would be. Okay, there's not a full-blown campfire, but there is like a miniature one. So, 7 locations down, 3 to go. Let's move on to the next. First things first, folks, I do also want to highlight some of the non-name locations are pretty big. Like, you would be able to get a good duo's worth of loot at a place like this. This mansion is off to the east side. Huge, I'm hearing at least sort of 7 different chest pings here. So, like, do check out non-name locations or non-POIs because some of them are pretty big. So let's, while the storm is coming in, be careful, but we'll take a little look at Revenge Reels. Revenge Reels is sort of an upgraded version of Risky Reels where there are actually like food trucks there, which is quite cool to see. All in all, there's not much different here other than like the sort of food court area, but it's still your classic Risky Reels vibes, just a bit more modernised for Chapter 6 Fortnite rather than Chapter 1, of course. And it is showing a spooky movie here every so often, like the projector does actually work here, and it showcases what's supposed to be like a little horror movie, which is quite cool. You've also got the arcade area. All in all, quite a funky little section of the map to come to. So, that said, we've got 2 locations left. Let's move on to our 9th. Fun fact, folks, the heavy sniper is in the loophole. I know many of you will probably appreciate that. I mean, heavy sniper is a good gun if you know how to use it well. The person who finished me got 23 kills. Proof that this game is sweaty. So folks, down here on the sort of southwest side of the map, or southeast of Punishment Patch, we have Retail Ruin, which is supposed to be like a construction site version of Retail Row, which is pretty cool. Except, I would argue it's less like Retail Row and more like some of the factory areas that we've had in prior chapters. I can see the elements of Retail Row that people are talking about, but like, this is a very unique name location compared to prior locations that we've had on the various maps that we've had. So, all in all, it's a cool one. I don't know what I'm doing with my inventory, but anyway, I think this sort of side of the map seemingly is a little bit more quiet than some of the other areas, which is really, really nice to see. But obviously, it's Reload. Nowhere is designed to be too silent. But anyway, let's head over to the 10th and final location that we've not actually been to yet, which is Spooky Suburbs, which is our southeast corner of the map, and also seemingly the biggest location on Nitemare Island. So this area is huge. It's got all your shops, it's got gas stations, it's got Hey Boo, and it's got a full-size version of Hey Boo as well. So like, Hey Boo, for those of you that aren't familiar, is the old Halloween shop from chapters 1 and 2. So it's quite nice to see that brought back. It's got some houses, it's got some basketball courts, and like other sports courts. It's supposed to be like a full-blown Halloween-y city kind of vibe. Although not so much a city, obviously it's literally called Spooky Suburbs. It's more supposed to be like your suburban, so like partly city, partly rural. But then just off to the northeast, not northeast, southeast of there, we have our Halloween Lighthouse. So this is basically Lockie's Lighthouse from chapter 2, reskinned for Fortnitemares. However, it does seem that this guy is going to try and kill us. So we'll scare him off with chainsaw. We'll head up to the top of here, see what the vibe is. I'm actually realising now that I'm seeing it that the chainsaw is actually better than the scythe has been. It seems the scythe is not really being very consistent with actually killing people. But yeah, from up here you can get a great view of Nitemare Island. Honestly, a really cool vibe. I also do like how there seems to be a haunted house behind the map. Like off the edge of the map. All the way over in the distance. Over there. But I mean, quite cool. And that's where we're going to end the video.